Hello, welcome back to the PL SQL tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss about character sets and lexical units. So essentially what PL SQL engine supports four different types of character set types, and they are letters. So like capital A to G and small a to G. All these things are supported by PL SQL. And next is digits, 0 to 9, and then symbols. Symbols like the special symbols that you have, like for example, percentage, and percent, and you know, plus, minus, all these things are supported by symbol. And next one is white spaces like arrays, returns, and space. And all. Essentially, PL SQL engine is going to accept any character that falls under this category. So if you look at your English keyboard, except the backcodes, I think all except the backcodes, all other characters are supported by PL SQL. So these different characters combinedly make a word, and that word is called a lexical unit, right? So lexical units is basically the words that we write in PL SQL. There are four different types of lexical units are there, and number one is delimiters. So that means a special symbol like plus, percentage, quotes, dot, and this thing. So I'm just showing you about 5 delimiters here. And then if you look at your PL SQL documentation supplied by Oracle, you should be able to see around 20 plus delimiters that is supported in Oracle 11. Next one is identifiers. So identifiers can be a variable or can be a reserved keyword, like for example select. So select is an example of reserved keyword, and then in the variables. And then there's a rule that we go to get this. How do you define this identifier? It can contain up to 30 characters, and it must begin with an alphabetic character, and then certain other conditions. So let's take an example. Like for example, this is a valid identifier, whereas dot ampersand dashes is not a valid because they don't allow any percent inside that word, and then they don't allow any hyphen. Okay, no space allowed. So this is why these are the invalid example of invalid identifiers. Then the other types of lexical units is literals. So literal is an explicit numerical or character or string. That means 6 minus 14 is an example of literal. Hello world is a string literal. G is a character literal. True and false are Boolean literals. The last one we give two hyphen to say that this is a comment. So essentially these are the four types of lexical units that we have. So what we learned right now that we allowed everything in the character set except a backcode, and then we combine those characters to form a lexical units, and those lexical units are divided into four categories. So now let's take an example of a PL SQL code. So this is what you're seeing, the PL SQL code, where let's try to find out what are the lexical units. So declare is an identifier, and this is a keyword or a reserved word. So this is an identifier. And then count is a variable, and also this is an identifier. PLS integer also an identifier, and then this is a delimiter. Right? So this is a delimiter, and then one is a numerical literal, and then this is an identifier, and then so this is how you get this thing, and this is an identifier, and then this is a character literal, this is a delimiter, this is a numerical literal, and this is a numerical literal, this is a delimiter, and this is a comment. So this is how this PL SQL program is categorized, and you see that we almost contain all the characters that you can find. So with this, in the next thing, we're going to discuss about more detail about the variables and so on. Thanks.